Guys, welcome back to another episode on our channel where we decode the fortress of cybersecurity. Now, today's blueprint for building an unbreachable defense is all about defense in depth. Okay, that is the topic for today. Okay, now if we talk about defense in depth, it's the architecture of your cybersecurity, a layered strategy that safeguards information from the outer wall to the inner sanctum. So get ready to layer up your digital armor as we break down each and every component in the defense in depth strategy. Okay, so let's dive in. Defense in depth is a layered strategy. It's about having multiple layers, okay, having multiple levels of security measures so that if one of them fails, another stands ready to thwart the threat, okay, to face the threat. Now imagine it's like a medieval castle, okay, with the walls, moat, archers, and knights. And each and every layer in the defense in depth, okay, same like in a castle, all the things like archer, knights, they have their specific rules. In same like that, each and every layer in your defense in depth also, it has a specific rule contributing to the overall defense of the system. Okay. Now, if we talk about the concept of your defense in depth, so the concept originated in military strategy. Okay. This is basically originated from the military strategies and it has been adopted in the cybersecurity as well. Okay. So in our digital castle, okay, in our systems, these layers, they have, they range from the physical security measures to network defenses, and they end with policies and procedures. Okay. So if we talk about, the layers of defense in depth, so as in the diagram here, you can see that we have multiple layers here. We have physical layer, perimeter layer, internal, host, application, and data. Okay. And other than that, we have all the policies, procedures, and awarenesses. So what we are going to do, we are going to see each and every layer in detail. All right, so let's go and see each and every layer. So if we see, our first layer of defense is the physical security. Okay, so the physical security, it includes, gates. Okay, like gates, guards, locks, to provide very controlled access. Okay, and it's the protection, it is like providing protection from the outsiders. Okay, so it includes everything from the security guard at the door to the biometric systems safeguarding entry to the server rooms. Okay, so from safeguarding the door to the server room, entire things are there in the physical security. Okay, now you'll say, how does SIEM fit into this? Because we are going with the SIEM, and how does SIEM is fitting into the physical security here? Okay, so basically SIEM systems, they are going to monitor the access control logs. Okay, and they are going to alert the cybersecurity team if someone tries to bypass the security protocol. Okay, now how does this happen? Because see, like you will be using biometrics, you will be using logs, you will be using logs. So what will happen whenever the biometric fails? Again, it is going to generate an alert that, okay, there was an authentication failure. Okay, and it is going to generate the logs. So SIM will continuously look into the logs, it will monitor them, and then it will generate an alert. Okay, so it's like, having a guardian who never blinks and ensuring that only those with the right keys can enter into the building. Okay, then beyond the physical lies the perimeter security. Okay, after the physical security, the next layer is about perimeter security. Now here, all your firewalls, VPNs, okay, those things are there. So here, the firewalls, VPNs, they create secure tunnel for data travel, and your ACLs, they are configured on the routers. Okay, so your ACL configured routers, they decide who gets to pass through the digital through this, who gets to pass and who doesn't get to pass. Okay, so they will be monitoring each and every packet that approaches the devices. Okay, that approaches your network gates or that is trying to get inside your network. Now here also, if you say SIM's rules is very important, because again, all these devices, they will be creating logs. So by integrating firewalls and VPN logs, your SIM can detect unusual patterns of traffic, like a surge of login attempts from an unfamiliar location, okay, or signing a potential seize, and it will allow only defenders to react swiftly. That means that your SIM is going to correlate the log between your firewalls and VPNs, and then it is going to create an alert if it finds any unusual activity. Okay, and that will help the cybersecurity analysts or network security teams to react to it. Okay, then further if we go, so we have internal security, or we can say internal network security. Okay, and now this is segmented into various sections by network segmentation and fortified by IDS that act as a vigilant archer. Okay, so basically what will happen here in the internal network segments, we are going to have our internal divisions of our networks, like you might be having different VLANs, and you might be creating or having IDS placed. Okay, so what will happen, that they will detect any intruders. Okay, first of all, they will not allow, and if there is any malicious traffic, then IDS will again, it is going to generate an alert. So your SIM here, it gathers the intelligence from the network segments and the IDS alerts, and it will correlate that information, and it will try to find out potential threats. Now it's the central command where the strategy is formed. And this ensures that the right responses are enacted when the alarm is raised. Now, as we dive deeper, the next part will be about host security. So here, we have features like server hardening. We can deploy host-based firewalls. Okay, we can have OS authentication rules. Okay, all these things, they are going to ensure that each and every server stands safe. Okay, they remain safe. And here again, your SIM, if we talk about, so your SIM is going to track and record activities at the host level also, because again, all the devices in a network, all of them, they generate a log, okay, for all the events that are happening. So your SIM is going to track and record all the activities at the host level. Okay, so it will check the things like changes in your configuration, access patterns. Okay, and it will provide you insights and alerts that are going to help you and reinforce the bastions against infiltration and compromise. Okay, and then finally we have our data. After the host security, we have data. So the application and data layers, they safeguard these through strong passwords, like file ACLs we can have, and they use secure communication protocols like SSL and TLS and IPsec. So all these things, they belong to the your data security. Okay, so SIM, again, if we talk about, so here in this layer, it is going to analyze data access patterns, that how data is being accessed, and it will encrypt the communication paths. Okay, and it is going to ensure that only those who know the secret handshake, the correct credential, and the encryption standards can access the data. Okay, so the data security measures, they will again use multiple security measures, as we have seen, like they will be using SSL, TLS, and IPsec. They will be using file ACLs, strong passwords they will be using. Okay, so all these things are for data security. Okay, but if we talk about there can be new threats coming up. So our digital systems, they are continuously updated through patch management. Okay, So you can understand, like your patch management, it's like a blacksmith, you can say, who refines the armor. Okay. So what will happen, the security updates that we are going to get, they are going to strengthen our defenses against newly discovered vulnerabilities. Okay, so if there are new threats, again patch management, new patches will be applied and security updates will be there, so they will help us strengthen our security. Then after we have, intrusion prevention systems. Okay, and again, same like IDS is a device that is responsible for monitoring the traffic, and if it finds anything unusual or malicious, then your IDS is just going to generate an alert, but your IPS is able to stop the attack. Okay, so your IDS is responsible for stopping attacks in their tracks. Okay, like while the virus protection, these kind of things will be employed. Okay, so your IDS is going to make sure that no unauthorized traffic or no unauthorized person gets into the network. Furthermore, we have zero-day protection. So if we talk about zero-day attacks, so zero-day attacks are attacks that are present, but those are not currently you can say identified. Okay, those are present, but those are not yet identified. Okay, so as they are not identified, they haven't been patched yet. Okay, so those are the zero-day attacks. So your IDs, they are responsible for providing zero-day protection as well. Okay, so it prepares our defenses for the unknown, and they ensure that the first strike isn't a fatal one. Means they are going to try to reduce the amount of damage that will be done if a zero-day attack is there. Okay, so your SIM, again, it is going to receive updates from the patch management systems, and it is going to analyze your IPS logs. Okay, and it will ensure your antivirus systems are up to date, and it's basically your SIM solution. It's the mastermind that is going to ensure all the pieces, they are working together to protect your systems. Okay, and finally, after all these layers, we have after all these layers of technology, we have the policies, procedures, and awareness. So this foundation, basically, it is built on the education of the you know uh, employees that are working inside the company. Okay, so it will include the education, or you can say awareness trainings, the laws that govern the land. Okay, and the strategies to restore the system if there is uh, an attack or disaster kind of strike. Okay, so your SIM is going to ensure that the policies are not just scroll on a wall, but they are living practices. Means whether the employees in the company, they are following the practices or not. Okay, so it is going to monitor the adherence to these policies, and it is going to alert, and it is going to provide historical insight also, that is necessary to adapt and evolve our defenses. That means in with the help of SIM, you can correlate a huge amount of logs from different devices, and there are log retention mechanisms deployed in the organizations. Okay, so it will make sure that you are complying to different regulations as well. And your SIM, it is not just a tool. Okay, so it's not just a tool, but you can say it's kind of a guardian itself, who is going to continuously learn and teach us how to be better. Okay, how we can secure. Okay, so that was a basic introduction to your defense in depth. And in this journey through the layers of defense in depth, we have seen how SIM is not just another layer, but the connective tissue. Okay, it has to be there, and it will be the one who will be giving you real-time information by it will be giving you the real-time information by correlating the different types of logs and analyzing them. Okay, so your SIM is the intelligence that turns everything, or that that turns your security measures to a higher level. Okay. And with SIM at our side, your defense in depth, it transforms a concept into an actionable dynamic shield that protects the assets from, various cyber attacks, and it protects all the assets that are very precious to us. Okay. So that was all about defense in depth. Thank you for joining us today. And as we wind up this video, as we wind up today's episode, remember that the strength of a castle lies not just in walls, but in the wisdom with which it is defended. That means what? That, it's not about, deploying everything, but, it has to be like a strategy should be proper. Okay. So in further coming videos, we'll see more about it. Subscribe and join us again as we continue to explore the vast landscape in the cybersecurity. And until the next time, stay vigilant and empowered in your quest to safeguard the digital systems.